guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Stasiabliss. You might play something, it's a cover, but I'm working on doing some covers and then maybe like playing with them a little bit. So then today I want to talk about the ebb and flow in relationship and what that is, what that means. But first, let me play this song. This is by Trevor Hall, for those of you who don't know. He's a great conscious musician, has some really like awesome, simple, cool songs. Lots of albums. He's got a lot of work. This one's called Sagittarius, and I am a Sagittarius, so this is how it goes. Break me out of patterns, rings of Saturn here. Get me out of my way. I surrender mission to gain another vision. Get me out of my way. The stars, they be whispered, allow me to be kindred. Get me out of my way. True double seeker, find the inner teacher. Get me out of my way. I'm still learning how to walk in my fire. Live in my fire, love in my fire. Oh, I'm still learning how to walk in my fire, live in my fire, love in my fire. If I try to push, I leave myself blinded. Yeah, get me out of my way, so I stay reminded. It's all perfect timing. Get me out of my way. I have to go under if I wanna find it. Get me out of my way. Am what I am, what I am. That's what I am, what I am. Oh, I'm still learning how to walk in my fire, live in my fire, love in my fire. Hey, I'm still learning how to walk in my fire, live in my fire, love in my fire. I'm still learning how to walk in my fire, live in my fire, love in my fire. Just something. So, the song has a great message. Oops, let's not scratch the guitar. To not just for Sagittarians, but for everyone. Like, we're all learning how to walk in these alchemical fires, which are us. Like, we are an alchemical pot, ever going through this heating and cooling, Ida and Pingala, right and left brain, like trying to integrate and forge the personality or the mission that we're here to. And we've got these like dross elements, these things from our past that seem heavy that we get to transmute. And also in our relationships, like, we're all learning how to like live this way, right? As these chemical soup humans, right? And if we just get out of our own way sometimes, right? I love the words, get out of my way, you know? Like, if I try to push, I leave myself blinded, you know? So that's what I want to talk about today, not pushing, like going with the ebb and the flow of relationship. And so there is this dynamic that begins to happen that's actually a natural pulsing. And if you're in harmony with someone, actually, it's a lot different than you think, or the movies are showing you, really, or that's really being emphasized in any sort of you know, training on relationship. And that is that the closer you get to someone, the harder you will repel them out. And it's like this, because each time that you bond, each time you have a deeper intimacy, and it doesn't have to be sex, it can be any sort of intimacy, right? You get to know another facet of the person and you get closer. That's closer to the oneness principle, right? And in that, it actually triggers a sort of fight or flight response in usually the masculine, but it can be either one. It's the masculine in the relationship that fears survival, right? Because you feel the merging of the relationship start to happen, the alchemy, which actually forges two new humans and another entity entirely, which is the relationship, right? So as you feel that psychological alchemy happening, because of the bonding, because of the closeness, there is a natural pushing away. And the purpose of that is to integrate this moment of intimacy, this togetherness. So you come out away from it. And if you push, and especially ladies, but sometimes men do this too, if you push when it's here for more here, you'll get the opposite effect. So you have to trust this process, you know, and it maybe is counterintuitive because you think, oh, this closeness is going to want to make us stay together, right? And sometimes that's the case for a while. Sometimes people's alchemical time frame is longer. And why? There's such a freak out when that shifts to this, because at some point, in order for the relationship to continue and people to feel themselves in the relationship too, because it's easy to get lost in the relationship and not feel the self. So there will be at some point a natural need to do that. And that's where people think that like, oh no, that's over, we're breaking up, like, you know, we're coming apart. When really it's like this growth thing. It's actually just like our breathing. It's like in and out. It's like the ocean. It's like the act of sex itself. The act of sex is not just like this, you know, just come together and stop. I mean, there are some nice tantric moves that hold for a while, but ultimately you have to be ebbing and flowing, moving, creating friction and bond, and like, you know, your movement oriented. Ebb and flow of the ocean, inhale, exhale breath. Eating in, eliminating, eating in again, day and night, day and night. There's these rhythms in life. It's a natural rhythm. And a healthy relationship is also on this rhythm of bonding and separating, and bonding and separating, and bonding and separating. And you'll find, if you pay attention, that if you have a closeness moment that gets you closer than you were last time, that there will be a repulsion as well. And to not freak out, but to allow it, right? To allow that to happen and give space for that and honor it and take it as a cue to yourself to take care of here until it's called back in again, right? So it's a beautiful process that isn't really recognized, that I think is important, and it's part of integration. It's part of being healthy. So there's a natural need anytime you have a peak experience, and this goes for your own Kundalini awakening too. You have this peak experience and then the energy drops and you have to integrate this. This is the unity field. Then you drop back down into duality or separation to integrate in your being, to make it more cohesive to your understanding, to bring that in and see if you can't embody some of that. So relationships are doing the same thing. You're learning more about each other. You're losing like your previous conceptions, even of yourself, of this other person, of possibility, right? And then you come apart and now you're alone again. So you have to integrate, can I have that togetherness in my aloneness, right? You have to be able to hold it there. And that means you're okay without it. You're okay in the emptiness and in the void, and you still feel it. The love is still present. So It's a challenge to some people because the pushing away feels like a break. And in a way it is, like you are having mini deaths. You're breaking away from what it was before you got closer. Like everyone's getting new brain synapses. After the intimacy, you're like rewiring and you're including this experience, and it's deep. You know, bonding intimate moments with other people are deep and they change us on a cellular level. And so it's good to go like take that out and like process that through and be with it and like feel how you have changed because of it. And there's a lot that goes on in the psychology and even the biology during that period. So again, I've talked about relationship just like a Kundalini awakening in self. A relationship has an awakening. Like a relationship has stages and phases and initiations of awakening, and they all include this apart together, just like this, the Ida and Pingala are going apart together up the spine, right? They're autonomous, they're crossing and touching. And they're activating the chakras as they do this, because that unity field of the two coming together, and then it bursts to a higher dimension before it becomes the next one. So that's exactly the process that relationship goes through. And so if you're in it, like, don't be alarmed. Like even starting to have this awareness that this even could be this way starts to change your relationship and brings it into a more divine status where there's an honoring taking place of each individual. And only in that mutual honoring can something really spectacular ever grow. Anyway. Okay, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If you liked this video, please like it and share it. Check out all the other Divine Union videos. Check out the weekly readings we got going. I'm trying different decks out there, and there's the Tarot Archetype series. There's lots of embodiment practices, yoga, mudra, mantra, meditations, and so forth on this channel. So I hope you'll check it all out. And if you want a personal reading or session with me for any of this stuff that I do, please check out that link below. Either email me directly or go to my website, blissinthehouse.com, and